Hey there, Sagittarius. Alright, so we're going to be doing your How to Find Love spread, and we're kind of just going to go right into it. If you guys want to, you can visit vitaltarot.com. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I spent a lot of time on the website. I think you guys will enjoy it. With that being said, we're going to jump right into it. I spent a long time on the intros last time, so we're going to jump right into it. So our first card, because I shuffled these a little bit, I will shuffle 2 more times. I shuffled a little bit off camera, but I'll shuffle 2 more times just so we can get them nice and crispy for you folks. We're going to do 1 more. Okay. Alright, so this first card represents you and the issues surrounding you. And we get the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So to me, this card right here, I'm just going to put it right there. Okay, so to me the 8 of Pentacles in reverse would be something along the lines of, the 8 of Pentacles upright is someone studying and working on themselves. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse would be someone who knows they need to work on themselves, but they haven't done it. So this could be something where you need to go to therapy, but you haven't been going. Or you need to do something, but you've been putting it off. You've kind of been procrastinating doing something. And this usually involves things that are more materially based, like paying bills or doing something like that. But it can also be things that are psychologically based too. It just depends. And this could also be something like needing to go to family counseling, not going, needing to do something where you're bettering yourself, but again, not doing it, even though you know you need to. Okay, so the second card here, this card represents your behavioral patterns that are influencing your love life. And I get the 9 of Pentacles. So it's interesting that this is Pentacles so far, the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. So to me, this card here represents that you're focusing on independence, or you're trying to focus on independence. You're trying to focus on things being done in a way that is... maybe you're trying to focus on... I'm trying to think here. You're trying to focus on things that are more like material gains than they are anything else. And what that does is it makes it hard for you to focus on self-improvement because you're focusing on the external instead of the internal, okay? And so how we need to focus on this is we need to realize that when we go, okay, and this is just my opinion, guys, all my opinion, but when we go, well, I mean, you don't take money with you when you die, but we take the internal with us, we don't take the external. And so the things that are really important to work on when we're younger and when we're older is the internal part of us. And a lot of times in this world, we're forced to work on the external and not on the internal. We're forced to work on material wealth, but not the wealth of the spirit or the soul or the emotional body of ourselves. And that creates a disharmony within us. That makes it so that when we're 50, 60, 70 years old, we look around and we're like, oh wow, what have I been doing? Like, what's my life about? Who am I? Kind of a thing. And so this is about you needing to take the steps, needing to look for your own independence. And whatever that means to you, that's what it means to you. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys. And so this is definitely something where we need to focus more on self-love and we need to focus more on self-involvement, okay? And yeah, so that's what I'm seeing there. If we look at the third card up here, this card represents the areas that need further growth in order for you to find love. And we get the Father of Swords in reverse. I'm trying to get it just right. Okay, the Father of Swords in reverse to me would be someone who is... they can be very cold and calculating. They can be someone who is not very emotionally involved. They kind of just say things the way they are, and if you get offended by it, then they're like, well, it's just my opinion. But it's one of those people that it's not their opinion. They like to say things and they like to just hurt you. And so maybe you could have been this way with somebody, or maybe someone's this way with you. But the areas that you need to grow in to love yourself and to love others is to not be so self-critical and self-cynical. And so this is definitely where the self-improvement comes in, where working on yourself comes in, because I feel like there's these kind of voices that are telling you you're not good enough, or you can't do this, or you can't have everything, or and I've talked about it in my other readings, only some people can find love, only some people can achieve that. And that's absolutely not true. We just have to kind of undo what's been done to us since we were kids. Things like certain behavioral patterns that have happened that have kind of turned into what we view as personality traits, but really what it was a trauma, and we built our personality on top of that. That's why it's important to kind of unwind ourselves, look at who we are, see the trauma parts, kind of build that back up to where we can recover and where we can be normal again, where we can understand ourselves again, and then we can focus on self-repair, self-love, and focus on that. The fact that you're looking at the traumas and you're fixing yourself is an act of self-love. And in this society that we live in, that's almost viewed as blasphemy. So self-love is an amazing thing, and we all need it. It's all the problems stem from lack of self-love. They really do. So our fourth card here, this card represents the areas you need to change or process in order to find love. Okay, so besides being cynical, we need to work on how we view our emotions, okay? So when I see the Eight of Cups, and you see all these glasses that are kind of shattered and broken at the bottom of this giant mountain here, when I see this card, to me, it's like kind of like this impending figure. It's very powerful, and regardless of whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. So you're going to have to confront your emotional self eventually, but you can do it. One way is kind of like, oh, hey, how are you doing? The other way is kind of like, oh, shit. What am I going to do? So how do you want to confront this part of yourself? You can either do it willingly, or you can do it kicking and screaming. But regardless, there's going to be a point in your life where you have to confront this part of yourself. And you have to understand that you may feel fear, and you may feel anger, betrayal, confusion, whatever these feelings happen to be. But they are there so that you understand that you need to pay attention to this part of yourself. And that hurt eventually dissolves. That confusion, that betrayal, that fear, that anger eventually dissolves and turns into something where we can actually start to self-actualize, okay? And we can start to grow, and we can start to understand ourselves in beautiful ways. And that's what this is all about. Understanding ourselves in a better way, in a more beautiful way, in a more positive way. And when we do that, we kind of show ourselves what our journey has truly been all about. And it's not about who did this and why and all that. It's about how we responded to who did it, why they did it. And it's about reacting with kindness and with gentleness in these situations, because a lot of the time when someone hurts us, they're hurting. And it's just as simple as that. I'm guilty of going off the handle. I think everyone is, but we have to come from a place of love eventually, and this is definitely the start of it for you guys. And it can be difficult at first. Yeah, so our fifth card here. This card represents areas that need to be liberated within yourself to allow love into your life. Okay? And look at that. That's an interesting one. So we are looking at the Fool card here, and it's a baby chick. You can see that. So to me, what we have to focus on is it's kind of like a radical approach. The reason why it seems so difficult to do is because you haven't focused on this before in this way. And kind of like a bird learning to fly, okay, or you know, learning how to do anything. At first it seems really difficult, but then it's not that bad. Learning how to ride a bike, for instance, seems really overwhelming when we're kids, or whenever you learn to ride a bike, but it seems overwhelming at first, and then you're like, wow, how could I ever not do this? And so self-care is kind of the same thing, where we have to exercise those muscles, and we have to exercise our mental faculties to be able to incorporate self-care. And at first it seems overwhelming and it seems daunting because we've been ignoring it for so long, and it seems like so much energy and so much effort. And it is at first, because you're working on yourself. It takes some time, and you will be tired, and you will be kind of, you know, what's the word? You'll be kind of reluctant to start because it seems like such an overwhelming thing, but it's really not. It's self-care, and it's the one thing that we can take with us when we go. It's the one thing that when we die, we take with us, and that's our internal selves. That's our spirit. That's our soul. And so that's what we're focusing on. And if we come at ourselves with love and appreciations, and we don't judge ourselves on our own journey, then that right there is beautiful. That speaks more to the universe than anything else, because that's self-gratitude, self-acceptance, self-appreciation, and that's what it's about, you guys, okay? And that is your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved giving this reading. I love talking to you guys. And Sagittarius, if you would like I said, you can visit the website, but you guys do not have to. But I would love it if you did. Tell me what you guys think. And please like the video if you liked it. And if you disliked it, go check out another video. No, I'm just... But anyway, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Namaste. And have a good one, okay?